A massive human trafficking scam was unearthed by the Visakhapatnam police earlier this week, and as part of the operation, they were able to find that hundreds, not just hundreds, but actually thousands of youth may have been lured in the name of jobs to Cambodia and forced there, tortured, given inhuman treatment in order to be able to carry out cyber fraud crimes. What we understand is that they were provided training there to carry out cyber crimes, and all these were people who were told that they would be given jobs as in fact data entry operators in Singapore, and 3 agents have been arrested by the Visakhapatnam police. Following the unearthing of this particular fraud, the Visakhapatnam police has received multiple calls for help from hundreds of youth in Cambodia and their families in India as well. And we are now joined by Visakhapatnam Police Commissioner, Mr. Ravi Shankar Ayyanar. Mr. Ravi Shankar, thank you so much for joining us. Now, of course, you have asked the Bureau of Immigration, MEA, to intervene and try to bring these youth back. There were protests there in Cambodia, we understand. What are the kind of numbers that we are talking about? How many from Andhra Pradesh and how many from rest of the country?
One of the victims who had approached us, he has given the figures around 5,000 for the entire country and about 150 from Vizag alone and Andhra Pradesh, the neighboring districts. So it's quite alarming in the sense 5,000 people from India working for the last 2 years there in very inhuman conditions, and they're not being given food. And if their performance is not on expected lines, there again, they are kept under starvation for a few days. These were the confessions given by the guy who had escaped and approached us for help.
Mr. Ravi Shankar, earlier we saw the immigration kind of a trafficking fraud, human trafficking fraud with regard to youth who are being taken away and used, in fact, in war in Israel and the disturbed areas. This once again seems to reflect the kind of crisis that's happening there. Who are these agents? Are they people from abroad who are doing this? Who are the handlers themselves? Is there a Chinese link to it, or is this Cambodian handlers that we are talking about?
In India, we have, unregistered agents who are kind of, recruiting these gullible boys who are unemployed, and then transporting them across to Cambodia via Bangkok or Singapore. So at the airport at Bangkok or Singapore, the Cambodian agents take over. Like the guy or the girl is literally sold to these Cambodian agents, who in turn, send back 50,000 into the account of the Indian agent. Once the Cambodian agent takes over, he takes them across from Singapore or from Thailand into Cambodia, a place called Poipet, Poipet. That is just at the border between Cambodia and Thailand. There they have kind of a exclusive economic zone or something like that, where there are multiple series of towers are there. And all those towers, many of the Chinese are operating. So these Chinese are the guys who are head of these companies. And these gullible boys and girls are taken in there, and then, they are given training on various cyber frauds. And these cyber frauds, because they know, many of them know the Indian languages. So they are in turn given intensive training for about week to 10 days on committing cyber frauds like the currently ongoing FedEx courier scams, then the fake stock market investment frauds, then task games, then cryptocurrency frauds, as well as the honey trap. So these are the major 5 or 6 kind of frauds in which they are given training. Once they successfully complete the training, then they are, taken to the floors, because each of the floor in the apartment is all dedicated to a particular fraud, and the head of that particular fraud division is a Chinese. And then these guys, they are, forced to attack the gullible Indians who are online. So they get the data out of these gullible people who are online, and then, indulge in these FedEx courier scams and things like that. To tell you, in Vizag alone, which has been, marked as one of the hotspots for the cyber frauds, by the India Cybercrime Coordination Center, Ministry of Home Affairs. Nearly 120 crores is the documented evidence of the money lost by Visagites, I mean the people from Vizag, over the last 1.5 years.
What is the profile of these youth? You mentioned both girls as well as boys. Somehow I had presumed that it is men who are going. So are you saying these are cyber savvy or computer savvy youth who are being lured? And what are they being told when they are taken? As data entry operators, what is the lure? What is the offer that they are made on the basis of which they seem to go?
They're all Bachelor of Computers trained or MCA, Masters in Computers, Computer Applications, and or some other courses they have done. Basically they are all lured into a job of data entry operator, and then after going there they are all put into these kind of to attack Indians through these cyber frauds, and they are given a payment. They are promised a payment of about ₹1 lakh every month, but after going there, if their performance is poor, their communication skills are poor, then in that case, they are subjected to these kind of torture, in the sense food deprivation and things like that. That is one of the prime reasons, and they also commit violence. And it is also told that some of the girls have been put into prostitution and things like that. So these are the glaring things which have come out in the confession of one of the victims who has tried to come out and then report this matter to us.
So some of the youth that you are saying who it all depends on this performance rating, people are not able to do these frauds, are not adept at carrying out the tasks that are assigned to them. There were some videos that seem to suggest that some seem to have adapted well to the life of crime, cybercrime there.
Yes, there are a few of them who have done exceedingly well, and they are really incentivized, I believe. They are given big parties and things like that. They're also given monetary benefits. To some extent, yes, many of them have been, they got kind of accustomed to this committing these scams, and they've been able to generate a lot of money for these Chinese companies.
Finally, from Cambodia, those visuals seem to suggest that many of these youth, their passports have been impounded, have been kept by the handlers, and therefore they are unable to come back. What kind of conditions are they in? And now, what has been communicated to you about the Ministry of External Affairs? What have they done to try and rescue and repatriate these youth? And what are the numbers we are looking at?
As of now, after we kind of got across to some of the victims there, they kind of raised a protest, and the Cambodian police have taken about 65 of them into custody, and there are many others who are still languishing in the company under deprived conditions. So we got in touch with the Bureau of Immigration as well as the Ministry of External Affairs. They have in turn put a nodal officer there, and the nodal officer there from the embassy, Indian embassy, is visiting today, and she'll be getting in touch with the Cambodian police as well as the victims there, and then they will communicate in turn to us, Visakhapatnam City Police, the details of the guys who are there, and then we intend to get in touch with the parents and see to it that their tickets for returning home are arranged. The investigation leads that have come about is we would like to know where this money is going. I mean, 120 crores is the amount that has gone from Vizag. But then whether the rest of the country also we would like to map and see, once we get a clear picture, where exactly this money is going. Because money laundering, this money, whether it is going for legitimate purposes or for illegitimate purposes. So these are the matters of investigation which we have taken up. Similarly, the human trafficking angle also, we have booked appropriate IPC sections, and kind of a cyber warfare or cyber terrorism also, because this is kind of a thing which has been plaguing many of the families. Many of the families in Vizag has got disrupted because of this. Knowingly, unknowingly, the family members have got into this, and then they've lost huge amount of money, and then their family squabbles, and then splits, and then suicides. Yeah. These are some of the things that have come to our notice here. So we are totally geared up, and we are now getting in touch with the embassy to see to it that all these victims return home safely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ravi Shankar, for joining us with all those details. The big worry, of course, is the huge amount of fraud, cyber fraud that they have committed on Indians from Cambodian soil, and the irony of using Indians to defraud Indians.